Hey guys, welcome back to another ranking video. I know it's been a while, but if you've seen my YouTube posts, you'll see that I've been dealing with some stuff, but I'm officially back. I want to start off really easy with today's ranking video with hatch kicking animations, which I've seen a couple of times in my comment section. Speaking of posts and the community, not that long ago we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I thank you all. If you haven't seen already, there has been a post that because of this very quick milestone I hit, I'll be doing a quick Q&A, and in that post, I ask you guys to put any and all questions you have down below in those comments, and I'll make a video on it. I'm letting that marinate for a couple of days down there, and I should get it out really soon, but I want time for everyone to leave their questions, especially because I made that post and this video pretty far away. Once I get situated, I'll have stuff like an X account and an Instagram and such like that, where it'll make asking questions way easier. But for now, just leave them in the most recent post. Speaking of a couple of days, and yes, I know this is a long intro, I'm very sorry. The PTB for the FNAF chapter is coming out on the 27th, and depending on when I get this video out, that is where your highly requested video ideas will finally come out, like the Mori animations and locker grabs. I didn't want to leave Springtrap out for those kind of things, and I probably should have waited for the hatch closing animation, but no matter what, here we are today. So, without any further ado, let's get right into this ranking. There are a couple of killers that just sit there and stomp on the hatch with their right foot without any real flair. These killers are Wraith, and the reason I'm putting him so low is that he uses the same kick animation, but for some reason it just doesn't look like he's putting any effort in here really. Also, his really skinny leg just looks kind of weird. Plague is next, and she gets pretty far for it being just a completely rotten leg. Legion's next, who just kind of steps on it, but for whatever reason it looks really weird for me. I'm not really sure. Next is Pig, who was kind of like Legion, where it kind of looks a little strange. Freddy is next, who has the same animation as the other twos above. Twins, and I'm not sure what it is, but it just looks a little weird with the wind-up she does before stomping on it. Let me know if it's just me, but it looks a little strange for some reason. Huntress, who definitely could stomp on the hatch to close it 100%. Ghostface, which actually does look pretty cool with the boot. Bubba, whose little apron adds points for him. Trapper, who stomps on it like I stomp on a spider that's next to me. Hillbilly, whose chainsaw goes wild while he's holding it for some reason. I'm not really sure why this is, or if it was just this one game. Myers, who doesn't need anything special to close the hatch for it to look cool. Doctor, and I love the fancy shoe that he has, and the doctor's vest here that you can really see. Add some extra points. Clown with his gigantic shoe, which I'm surprised it doesn't get stuck in the hatch as it closes. Pyramid Head with his giant boot, which actually does look pretty good here. Trickster, who when I was doing this, he said dope, which makes this like 10 times funnier. And also the fact that it kind of looks like he's hitting it with an angle. So it's a way more unique animation this way, so I had to just rank him higher, even though it is a kick, unfortunately. Artist, which I'm not sure what it is about it, but it just looks pretty good for some reason. Next is Oni, which his giant boot definitely closes the hatch really fast, and I'm shocked that it doesn't actually hurt when it, the hatch lid closes on him. Deathslinger, who puts so much effort into kicking this hatch closed, and the way the camera moves actually makes this feel way more powerful of a kick for some reason. After those is now all the killers that have some sort of very unique animation to them, where they don't have the exact same right foot stomp animation like the ones above. With this one, we start off with Hag, who closes it with her little stick arm. Houndmaster, which I had to give extra points for because I'm not really sure, but it's really out of sync and kind of funny looking with how low the camera gets. I'm not really sure if this is how it's supposed to be, but it's really funny to me and I was laughing so hard when I first saw this. Alien, who closes it with just one smack of their hand on the tip of the hatch. Ghoul, who closes it with the 2 hits of the Kagune, but the extra animation to the left one is actually really funny for some reason. Blight, who uses his cane to smash the hatch closed. I'm not really sure why, but this is really smooth looking to me, and it looks really good. I don't really know what it is about that cane, but it looks really nice here. Nemesis, whose big foot stomps on the hatch like he stomps on the survivor's head in the Mori. And the fact that we don't quite see it getting closed is really cool because he's way too big to have the camera look down. Skull Merchant, who stabs at the hatch, which I had to give extra points for not only being unique using her weapon to stab at it, but the fact that the arm completely broke on me made me laugh so hard when recording this that I just had to give extra points for it. Demo, who uses so much effort to just like fall on the hatch and kind of lays on it like a dog laying on your lap, except this animation is way more vicious than a dog laying on your lap and with some incredibly sharp claws here. Unknown, who puts the axe on the hatch first and then it kind of closes. I'm not exactly sure how it happened for the hatch to close this fast, but nonetheless, it's really clean and a really smooth animation, and it looks really good with the camera moving up that fast too. Wesker uses the Ouroboros to close the hatch, which I think this animation is synced like perfectly, and the camera work here is done really well. Spirit, who pushes the sword down into the hatch, which you can see all the cuts and glass and shards in her, and it looks actually really wonderful, and the amount of effort she puts into this is really smooth. You gotta commend that. These last couple took me a long time because they are absolutely amazing looking and honestly could be switched around very easily depending on the person. This honestly took me like another day to make this because it was just so hard to figure out where exactly I wanted everything. But it was a tough decision at the end, but I think the next one has to be Knight, who uses the pommel of the long sword to push it into the hatch, and the way he puts the sword back up on his shoulder is a really fluid motion, and it looks really awesome, not gonna lie. Next is Nurse, who closes it with her telekinesis, and there are some better mind closing animations. Although it doesn't have any special effects, it's still really cool looking and super unique for this character. Next is Chucky, who smacks it with his left hand, and the way he jumps on the hatch to close it is really smooth. And I love that this killer is in third person, so you can really take a look at all these fantastic animations that he does. Next is Singularity, who holds it with his claws and then uses his biopod shooter arm to smack it closed really fast. And once again, the camera work here makes Singularity look so big and menacing, just like his character is kind of supposed to be. Next is Dredge, who uses the random hands from the fog to close the hatch, which is a very fluid motion with all the different hands there. It's also super creepy, but if they would have like grabbed the lid of the hatch and then closed it that way, I'm not gonna lie, this probably would have been number one. But because of that, I couldn't quite give it more because I think there are some that are better. But no matter what, Dredge's is still amazing looking. Next is Vecna, who closes it kind of like Nurse, but with a lot more special effects and more menacing with just a simple hand movement where he kind of like barely moves the hand down and it just instantly closes. And it looks kind of fascinating to look at, not gonna lie. Next up is Pinhead, who spawns the chains in the hatch itself, and they come up and grab the lid on each side and then close it like that, with a super intense and fluid motion. And all of Pinhead's animations are really pleasant to the eyes, but I do think there are two that are just better. Number two being Onryo. She uses her powers to close the hatch, and all the special glitchy lines that show up not only on her hand, but on the hatch itself is a really nice touch. And I love the fact that she closes it like it's absolutely nothing, like it wasn't even in her way in the first place. But in my personal opinion, I think the killer with the best hatch closing animation has to be Dracula. The gust of wind following his hand and just closing and spawning bats with 2 fingers and a flick of the hand is probably some of the most hardcore thing that a killer has done in this game. I love the way the bats kind of circle the hatch after you close it for a little bit. That's a really nice touch, and I just love looking at this animation over and over again. So this was my list for the killer's hatch closing animations in Dead by Daylight. If you like this list, then be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and tell me any ideas that I should do. Remember to go to my post section on my channel and ask any and all questions, and I'll make a Q&A video shortly. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you had a good rest of your day and night, and take care everybody.